नमस्कार. Myself Miss Monica Nandakumar Chaure from Shri Sant Krupa Shikshan Sanstha's College of Pharmacy, Gurgaon. Today I welcome all of you. Today we will see new topic, that is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agents part 1. Let's see contents of this chapter. Starts with introduction, then classification of NSIDs depending upon chemical nature, and we will see one drug, that is indomethacin. Let's start with introduction. Among the antipyretics, the salicylates were found to be effective in reducing inflammation of rheumatic fever even after the development of steroidal drugs, namely glucocorticoids. The salicylates are still in great value as former have many undesirable side effects. So, considerable research is being done to develop non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agents. While researching for antipyretics of quinoline type, the 5-pyrazolone derivative was synthesized by mistake, which has analgesic property. In an attempt to find more potent derivatives of this class, first antipyrine and then analgin were introduced. These drugs also possess anti-rheumatic property, but agranulocytosis caused by analgin restricts its use. These 5-pyrazolone derivatives are important in that they led to potent class of anti-inflammatory agents, namely pyrazolidine 3,5-dione. Among this class, phenylbutazone was the first compound. Another drug, oxyphenbutazone, a metabolite of phenylbutazone, has some activity but is preferred as it produces less acute gastric irritation. The fact that the patients suffering from rheumatism were found to excrete tryptophan derivatives. An indole derivative created an interest in indole as anti-rheumatic agent. As a result, indomethacin was first introduced as a potent non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agent, which is more potent than phenylbutazone. Later on, an aryl acetic acid derivatives, that is ibuprofen, was introduced. The drugs which are used to reduce inflammation and pain arising from it are called as anti-inflammatory agents. They are used in inflammatory conditions like in arthritis, rheumatism, rheumatoid arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, etc. They are also useful during headache, migraine, neuralgia, toothache, etc. Let's see classification of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agents. There are mainly 4 classes. First is salicylic acid derivatives. Example was aspirin. Second was N-aryl anthranilic acid derivatives, or also called phenamates. Example is mefenamic acid. Third class, indolil or aryl acetic acid derivatives. Example was ibuprofen and indomethacin. Then last class, that is pyrazole derivatives, also subdivided into 2 classes, that is 5-pyrazolone derivatives. Example was analgin, and second was pyrazolidine 3,5-dione, that is phenylbutazone and oxyphenbutazone. Then we move towards classification of NSIDs considering chemical properties. First, it should be divided into two types, that is acidic compounds and non-acidic compounds. Acidic compounds further divided into three types, that is aromatic carboxylic acids. Second was alkanoic acid derivatives and third was enolic acids. Aromatic acids further divided into two groups, that is salicylic acid derivatives, example was aspirin, and anthranilic acid derivatives or phenamates, example was mefenamic acid. Alkanoic acid further divided into three types, that is acetic or ethanoic acid derivatives, example was diclofenac. Second, propionic or propanoic acid derivatives, example was ibuprofen. And third was indole derivatives, example was indomethacin. And third main category, that is enolic acid, uh, further divided into three types, that is pyrazolones, example was phenylbutazone, oxyphenbutazone. Oxycams, example pyroxycam, and benzotriazine was last category, example was azapropazone. And non-acidic compounds, example was procazone. Thank you all of you for listening. Thank you.